Telkom and Wits University have officially launched their Telkom Industry Solutions Lab, which is a strategic partnership that will drive innovation in line with South Africa's digital innovation strategy. This collaboration seeks to build an ecosystem of research-led innovation to solve some of the nation's greatest challenges in industries such as healthcare and education, and to create new economic opportunities. The two institutions believe that by providing a platform that develops future-focused solutions and innovations, existing and new technologies deliver real value. Let's have a conversation about this partnership now with Dr. Mmaki Jantjies, who is the Telkom Group Executive for Innovation and Transformation Office. Dr. Jantjies, thank you so much for making time for us. Tell us more about this Telkom Industry Solutions Lab. How is it going to help drive this innovation?
A very good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Telkom has a long-standing history of partnerships that it has had with universities in South Africa. We understand that such partnerships globally have shown the impact of how innovation can be created when we look at contextual challenges that we can solve through such partnerships. This partnership is of an industry solution lab, where Telkom and Wits University sat to carefully craft a research and development lab that will look at new products and solutions, that look at our organic growth, but most importantly, that are rooted on solving some of the major challenges that South Africans face on a daily basis. Research and development is a very strong approach that we use in solving some of the challenges that we have and ensuring that we not only provide strong connectivity for our customers, but we think about the challenges that they face, such as access to education, access to healthcare, and we leverage technologies such as artificial intelligence to enable them to be able to get access to these technologies.
Let's look at perhaps the overview of the country's digital innovation strategy then, and how the lab will contribute towards achieving some of those strategic goals.
Well, the lab has a twofold benefit that it contributes to the overall strategic outlook of digital innovation within South Africa. I think the first one is a skills development perspective. In the lab, the partners will include university partners. It will include technical staff that comes from Telkom Group, which has years of experience within the telecommunication and IT sector. And then we have researchers and academics who will be playing a key role within the lab, and postgraduate students who will form part of the research projects within the lab, as well as other external partners. So there we have an opportunity of ensuring a very strong skills pipeline of people technically skilled in key research areas in the STEM field. The second objective of the lab is to ensure that the products and services that come out of the lab are addressing the challenges that South Africans face to ensure digital inclusion. I'll give you an example of a project that some of the teams have already been working on, and this is natural language processing. This looks at the inclusion of African languages on digital technology. So with our experiences, when you use a language on technologies, they often don't recognize our accent, they often don't recognize our languages. So in terms of the area of natural language processing, we have experts who look at how do we ensure the inclusion of African languages, the inclusion of our accents on our interactions with the digital platforms, on technologies such as chatbots. And then there's projects that we apply to areas such as education and healthcare to ensure access. And so we're thinking carefully about how do we think about people who want to access healthcare, for example, in rural villages, who sometimes struggle to go to major cities to access specialists across the health sector. How do we leverage technology and telecommunication, making it affordable and partnering with institutions such as hospitals that ensure that people can access that much more quicker in clinics in local areas? And so such labs enable us to do that because, as we know, universities are innovators as well and cradles of knowledge, and us partnering with our expertise as industry leaders within the sector brings like-minded people to think about these challenges broadly and innovate and experiment in a sandbox environment.
Yeah, and I mean, as the country, there are a number of challenges that we are experiencing in different sectors. So which industries are going to primarily benefit the most from this collaboration? Because there are many, as I say, industries that are facing challenges. You mentioned healthcare and education, for instance.
I think we have for several years as Telkom looked at the various sectors where we strengthened, first of all, our technology capability as an organization. But there are a couple of industries which, as a group, we have already started work in, which is the education sector, which is the health sector, which is financial access sector. And from an enterprise level, there are experiments that are ongoing with mining companies. So I think there's a myriad of sectors that we have already started work in, and this R&D lab builds on the work that we continue as an organization, wanting to be at the forefront of innovation, but in partnership and in collaboration with key institutions such as the Wits University.
How does this help, Doctor, with creating new economic opportunities?
I think what is important for us is ensuring that we create technology by Africans for Africans. And then from there, we also have an opportunity with all the partnerships that we've seen. We've also seen students coming out of the lab creating their own companies that evolve around some of the work that we've done within a lab perspective. Most importantly, the technology that comes out of the lab gives us an opportunity to be able to contribute to economic growth in different ways. And we've seen this with some of the innovations and products that have come out from there, where both small businesses is able to benefit from how we serve, from how we innovate for them. A simple example is a product that we have, which is an online marketplace where SMMEs can place their product on the marketplace and people are able to access products that SMMEs actually sell on the marketplace. So such is an example of contribution towards economic growth. And the innovation that we make with these partnerships also has the twofold opportunity of enabling skills development and young people going from the lab to either open their businesses and have employment opportunities either within the Telkom group or beyond within the ICT and telecommunication sector.
Mm-hmm. So this lab will form, I suppose, part of the institution's innovation center. So Telkom's expertise is going to come in very handy, and I guess that's what's important with such partnerships, right? Where you've got, corporate South Africa sharing their expertise with educational institutions like Wits University to solve those societal issues.
I think Telkom is no stranger to these partnerships because we understand that for us to actually make a contribution to the lives of everyday South Africans, it is through such partnerships where we not only create products and solutions that solves the problems, but we both as organization also contribute to creation of new knowledge, to creation of the curriculum as well that goes into the institutions from a teaching perspective as well as from a research perspective. So there are multiple benefits that such research labs provide for us as South Africa in pushing the boundaries of possibilities on innovation.
How significant is research and development? Are we exploring it enough?
I think globally, as a result of economic challenges, we've seen the dwindling of R&D funds across various countries. So for us as Telkom, I think R&D has been a very important strategic innovation lever that we've significantly used over the years, and we commit and we continue to commit to invest in R&D as an organization, both for our sustainability as an organization, but also understanding the contribution that we make as a group towards economic growth through R&D. And we've seen that in not only emerging markets, in some of the other R&D matured countries, how such partnerships have led to groundbreaking innovations that have led to changes within society. Simple example of R&D was how we had to push the boundaries on R&D during COVID pandemic and accelerate some of the interventions that were coming in. And it was through funding and partnerships that came through R&D that enabled us to move through the challenges that we experienced during that time. Mm-hmm. So such plays a very important role in innovation and economic growth for a country.
Yeah, we always hear of buzzwords such as, AI, digital innovations. There's ChatGPT now. How will these be used to advance South Africans? And are they clearly defined, do you think, frameworks on how we will interact with these new emerging trends?
I think, Clement, they are clearly defined frameworks because we are already interacting with these technologies. I think ChatGPT is a buzzword that has taken the sector by storm across board.
Yeah.
And Telkom, like any other group, is looking at how do we customize this? How do we think about it in a local context? When we think about our customers sitting at every nook and hook of South Africa, what does that mean to them? What does ChatGPT mean to them? And so it is important for us, through such partnership, where we think about the local context and localization, to think about AI. And the earlier example that I gave of natural language processing, it falls within the category of artificial intelligence, where we say that through that intelligence, we're able to utilize such technology to make technology inclusive through language. But that's just one example of how we're using AI and how the lab is also a sandbox for us to experiment on different products that speak to the local customer.
Yeah, well, Dr. Mmaki Jantjies, Telkom Group Executive for Innovation and Transformation, thank you for joining us for this conversation.